Kate Morgan stood at the window of her ship, watching the stars. She had waited 15 years for this moment. Today, she would be the first human to meet with the Zephyrian Empire. The aliens controlled many star systems and had powerful weapons. If this meeting went well, humans and Zephyrians could become friends. If it went badly, there might be war. The ship she traveled on was called the Use Harmony. It was white and gold, painted with symbols of peace from Earth. Kate had picked these colors herself. She wanted the aliens to know that humans came in. Friendship, not war. Captain Ryan Mitchell walked up to Kate. He was a tall man with gray hair and kind eyes. Ryan had been in space for 20 years, but he had never carried anyone as important as Kate. Ambassador, we're getting close to their home system, Ryan said. My sensors show at least 50 alien ships waiting for us. Kate nodded. She had expected this. The Zephyrians were careful people. They would want to make sure the humans were not a threat. Send them our peace codes, Kate said. Let them know we come as friends. Ryan went back to his bridge. Kate could hear him talking to his crew. The humans had brought only 4 ships. 3 were small warships to protect Kate, and 1 was the Harmony. It was not much compared to the alien fleet, but Kate hoped it would be enough. Lieutenant Commander Lisa Park came to stand beside Kate. Lisa was Kate's helper and had been with her for 5 years. She was young but very smart. Are you nervous? Lisa asked. Kate smiled. Yes, but that's good. Being nervous means this matters. The alien ships were beautiful. They looked like they were made of crystal and light. They moved through space like dancers, smooth and graceful. Kate had seen pictures before, but seeing them in person was different. They were much bigger than she had thought. Ambassador, Ryan's voice came over the speaker. The aliens are talking to us. They want you to come to their main ship. Kate took a deep breath. Tell them yes. I'll come with Lisa and 2 guards. Ma'am, I don't like this, Ryan said. Something feels wrong? Their voices sound ... cold. Kate had noticed it too. The aliens spoke perfect English, but there was no warmth in their words. Still, she had a job to do. I have to go, Ryan. This is why I'm here. Kate put on her best diplomatic uniform. It was dark blue with gold trim. On her chest, she wore a pin with Earth's flag. She wanted the aliens to remember where she came from. The shuttle ride to the alien ship was short. Kate looked out the window as they got closer. The alien ship was huge, bigger than any building on Earth. It was called the Eternal Dominion. The name made Kate feel uneasy. The shuttle landed in a bay filled with strange lights. The air smelled different here, like metal and electricity. Alien soldiers met them at the door. They were tall and thin, with skin that looked like pale blue. Glass, their eyes were black and showed no emotion. Welcome, human, one of them said. I am High Commander Veltar. You will come with us. Kate stepped forward. I am Ambassador Kate Morgan, representing the people of Earth. Thank you for agreeing to meet with us. Veltar did not smile. Kate was not sure if his people could smile. Follow me. They walked through long hallways filled with crystals that glowed with soft light. The walls were smooth and perfect. Kate had never seen anything so beautiful or so cold. Your ship is impressive, Kate said, trying to start a conversation. It is adequate, Veltar replied. He did not seem interested in talking. They came to a large room with a table made of black stone. Other aliens sat around it, all looking at Kate with their dark eyes. Kate felt like a bug under a microscope. Please sit, Veltar said. Kate sat down with Lisa beside her. The 2 guards stood behind them. Kate noticed that the alien soldiers had moved to block the door. We have studied your species, Veltar began. You are young and weak. Your technology is primitive. Your ships are slow and poorly armed. Kate felt her heart start to beat faster. This was not how diplomatic meetings usually started. We may be young, Kate said carefully, but we are eager to learn. We hope we can share knowledge and become friends. Veltar made a sound that might have been laughter, but it was not pleasant. Friends? You misunderstand our purpose here, human. The alien leader stood up. The other aliens did the same. Kate noticed that they all wore weapons on their belts. "We did not ask you here to make friends," Veltar said. "We asked you here to give you a choice. Your species will submit to our rule, or your species will be destroyed." Kate stood up slowly. Her mouth felt dry, but she kept her voice steady. "That is not acceptable. Humanity will never submit to anyone." "Then humanity will die," Veltar said simply. "Starting with you." The alien soldiers moved forward. Kate's guards reached for their weapons, but it was too late. Strange blue lights hit them, and they fell to the ground. Lisa screamed. Kate felt. The blue light hit her too. Her body went numb, and she could not move. She fell to her knees, then to the floor. The last thing she saw was Veltar standing over her. "Take them to the holding cells," he ordered. "Contact the human ships. Tell them their ambassador is now our prisoner. They have 1 hour to leave our space, or we will destroy them." When Kate woke up, she was in a small room with metal walls. Lisa was beside her, crying softly. The 2 guards were there too, but they were not moving. Kate crawled over to check on them. They were still breathing, but they would not wake up. "What are we going to do?" Lisa whispered. Kate sat up, even though her head was spinning. "We're going to survive. And we're going to make sure Earth knows what happened here." On the human ships, Ryan Mitchell was facing the hardest decision of his life. The aliens had given him 1 hour to leave. If he stayed, his small fleet would be destroyed. If he left, he would be abandoning Kate and her team. "Captain," his communications officer said, "we're getting a message from Earth Command. They want to know our status." Ryan looked at the alien fleet surrounding them. 50 ships against his 4. There was no way to win this fight. "Send a message probe to Earth," he ordered. "Put everything we've recorded on it. Make sure they know what the aliens are really like." "Sir, what about the ambassador?" Ryan closed his eyes. "We can't help her if we're dead. We have to get word back to Earth." The message probe launched just as the alien deadline ran out. Ryan watched it disappear into hyperspace, carrying news that would change everything. "All ships, prepare to jump to hyperspace," Ryan ordered. "We're going home." As the human ships disappeared, Veltar smiled. Soon, the humans would learn their place in the galaxy, or they would learn to die. The message probe reached Earth 3 weeks later. It arrived at Luna Station, where Admiral Jack Thompson was drinking his morning coffee and reading reports. The probe's warning signal made him spill coffee all over his desk. Jack had been in charge of Earth's space defenses for 10 years. He had seen many crises, but nothing like this. The probe's message was clear. Humanity's first diplomatic mission had failed. Their ambassador was captured. The aliens wanted war. "Get me President Davis on the emergency line," Jack ordered his aide. "And call a meeting of the Defense Council. We have a problem." President Ellen Davis was in her office in New York when the call came. She was a small woman with sharp eyes and a strong voice. She had been president for 3 years and had always hoped for peace with alien races. Now that hope was dead. "How bad is it?" she asked Jack. "As bad as it gets," Jack replied. "The aliens have our ambassador. They want us to surrender or be destroyed. We need to decide what to do." Ellen called an emergency meeting. The leaders of Earth's government gathered in the secure room. Beneath the White House, the news was worse than any of them had expected. General Marcus White stood at the front of the room. He was a big man with scars on his face from the Mars Rebellion years ago. He had fought in many wars, but never against aliens. "The situation is simple," Marcus said. "The Zephyrians have a bigger fleet than us, better weapons, better shields. In a straight fight, we would lose." "How badly would we lose?" Ellen asked. Marcus pointed to a chart on the wall. "They have 17 star systems. We have 1. They have hundreds of ships. We have maybe 50 that could fight. Their technology is 50 years ahead of ours." The room was quiet. Everyone understood what Marcus was saying. If the aliens attacked, humanity would die. "What about diplomacy?" asked Senator Carol Brown. "Maybe we can negotiate." "They captured our ambassador under a flag of peace," Ellen sighed. "I don't think they want to negotiate. Jack stood up. There is another option. We've been working on some new technologies, secret projects. Maybe it's time to use them. He showed them files marked Project Wildfire. For 5 years, human scientists had been developing new weapons and ships. They had been preparing for this day without knowing it. We have fusion torpedoes that can break through alien shields, Jack explained. New ships that are faster than anything we've built before. And we have something else the aliens don't. What's that? Ellen asked. We're angry, Jack said. The aliens think we're weak because we wanted peace. They're about to learn they were wrong. The vote was unanimous. Earth would not surrender. They would fight. General Marcus began preparing for war. Every factory on Earth and Mars started building weapons. Every shipyard began making new warships. The peaceful names of human ships were changed. The UES Explorer became the UES Vengeance. The U's Discovery became the UES Retribution. Meanwhile, on the alien ship, Kate Morgan sat in her cell. The aliens had tried to make her talk, but she refused. They wanted to know about Earth's defenses, about human technology, about anything that might help them win a war. You are foolish, Veltar told her during one of his visits. Your people cannot win against us. Tell us what we want to know, and we will let them live as our slaves. Kate looked at him with cold eyes. Go to hell, the alien leader did not understand the phrase, but he understood the tone. Your defiance will not save your species. Maybe not, Kate said, but it will make me feel better while I watch you lose. Veltar left the cell angry. The human female was not breaking. None of the human prisoners were breaking. It was strange. Most species begged for mercy after a few days. The humans seemed to get stronger. On Earth, the preparations for war continued. Dr. Helen Burke worked in a secret lab on Mars. She was developing new weapons that could destroy alien ships. Her fusion torpedoes were just the beginning. The aliens use crystal technology, she explained to her team. If we can disrupt the frequency of their crystals, their ships will fall apart. Her assistant, Dr. Peter Gray, looked worried. Are you sure this will work? No, Helen said. But it's better than sitting here waiting to die. Admiral Thompson met with his ship captains. These were the men and women who would lead humanity's first space war. They were brave, but Thompson could see the fear in their eyes. I won't lie. To you, he told them, we're outgunned and outnumbered. But we have advantages they don't know about. We're faster. We're smarter, and we're fighting for our homes. Captain Nina Foster raised her hand. She was young but had proven herself in the asteroid belt conflicts. What's our strategy, sir? We don't fight fair, Thompson said. We hit them hard and fast, then disappear. We make them afraid of empty space. We make them wonder where we'll strike next. The captains nodded. They understood. Humanity would fight like wolves, not like sheep. The first human strike force was ready in 6 months. 12 ships, fast and deadly. They were led by Commander Alex Rodriguez, a man who had grown up in the slums of Mexico City and worked his way up through the ranks. Remember, Rodriguez told his crews, we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for every human who will ever live. The aliens think we're weak. Let's show them what weak looks like. The ships jumped into hyperspace, heading for the first alien outpost. It was a small base on the edge of Zephyrian space. The aliens thought it was safe. They were wrong. The attack lasted 10 minutes. The human ships appeared without warning, destroyed the alien base, and vanished before reinforcements could arrive. 20 alien ships were destroyed. No human ships were lost. News of the attack spread quickly through the alien empire. The Zephyrians were shocked. The weak humans had struck first, and they had won. Veltar received the news while standing in front of Kate's cell. The human ambassador was smiling. Something funny? He asked. Just thinking about home, Kate said. I hope you're ready for what's coming. Veltar did not answer, but Kate could see the worry in his black eyes. The war had begun, and the aliens were already learning that they had made a mistake. On Earth, President Davis addressed the world. Her speech was broadcast to every human settlement in the solar system. The aliens took our ambassador, she said. They thought we would be afraid. They thought we would surrender. They were wrong. We are humanity. We do not kneel. We do not quit, and we do not forgive, the crowd cheered. Across the solar system, humans prepared for war. They had been peaceful for generations, but now they remembered what they were capable of when pushed too far. The fire had been lit. Soon the galaxy would burn. 1 year after the war began, the galaxy had changed. Human ships moved like ghosts through space, striking alien targets and disappearing before the enemy could respond. The Zephyrians had expected a quick victory. Instead, they found themselves fighting an enemy unlike any they had faced before. Commander Alex Rodriguez stood on the bridge of his ship. The UES Fury, the name had been painted in red letters across the hull, along with dozens of small marks. Each mark represented an alien ship his crew had destroyed. There were 43 marks so far. Target acquired, reported his weapons officer, Lieutenant Sam Cooper. Alien supply convoy, 3 ships, lightly defended. Rodriguez smiled. The aliens were trying to move supplies to their forward bases. They thought they were safe in their own space. They were wrong. Fire when ready, Rodriguez ordered. The human ships attacked without warning. Their new fusion torpedoes punched through alien shields like paper. The convoy was destroyed in minutes. The humans vanished back into hyperspace, leaving only wreckage. Behind that, this was the new way of war. Humans no longer fought like the aliens expected. They did not line up their ships for formal battles. They struck from the shadows, hit the enemy where it hurt, and disappeared before the aliens could fight back. Captain Nina Foster commanded the UES Vengeance, leading raids deep into enemy space. Her ship was painted black to hide in the darkness between stars. Her crew had learned to move silently and strike without mercy. Captain, her navigator reported, we're approaching the alien mining station. Nina looked at the display. The station was huge, pulling metals from an asteroid field. It was protected by 10 warships and had weapons of its own. A year ago, no human would have dared attack it. All ships, attack formation, Nina ordered. Remember, we're not just here to destroy the station, we're here to send a message. The human ships swept in from 3 directions. The alien defenders were caught off guard. Their formation broke apart as fusion torpedoes exploded among them. The mining station's weapons fired desperately, but the human ships were too fast. In 20 minutes, it was over. The station was destroyed along with its defenders, but Nina was not done. She had her crew broadcast a message on all alien frequencies. This is Captain Nina Foster of the human fleet, she said. You took our ambassador. You declared war on our people. Now you will learn what war really means. We are coming for you. The message was heard across the alien empire. Fear began to spread among the Zephyrians. These humans were not like other races. They did not fight for territory or resources. They fought for revenge. Colonel Gary Bennett established secret bases in captured alien territory. His Marines were experts at moving unseen and striking without warning. They turned alien defensive positions into human strongholds. The aliens build good bases, Gary told his officers. Strong walls, powerful weapons, hidden locations. Too bad they don't know how to hold them. Gary's forces captured alien technology and learned their secrets. They found out how the alien ships worked, how their weapons functioned, how their society was organized. This knowledge was sent back to Earth, where it was used to build better weapons and plan new attacks. The aliens were learning to fear empty space. Human ships could appear anywhere, at any time. Alien convoys started traveling with heavy escorts. Alien bases were put on high alert, but it was not enough. The humans always found a way to strike. Dr. Helen Burke worked day and night in her laboratory on Mars. The fusion torpedoes had been successful, but she was developing something even more powerful. She called it the quantum disruption bomb. The aliens use crystal technology for everything, she explained to her team. Their ships, their weapons, their communications. If we can disrupt the quantum field that holds their crystals together, their technology will collapse. Her assistant, Dr. Peter Gray, looked at the test results. This could destroy an entire alien fleet at once. That's the idea, Helen said. The aliens want to play with advanced technology. Let's show them what happens when that technology turns against them. The first test of the quantum bomb was conducted on a captured alien ship. The weapon was small, about the size of a briefcase. When it detonated, the alien ship simply fell apart. Its crystal structure collapsed, and the entire vessel turned to dust. Send word to Admiral Thompson, Helen ordered. We're ready for field testing. Meanwhile, on the alien ship Eternal Dominion, Kate Morgan had become more than a prisoner. She had become a symbol of human resistance. Other human prisoners throughout the alien empire had heard about her refusal to break under torture. They began to follow her example. You cannot hold us forever, Kate told Veltar during one of his visits. My people will come for us. The alien leader looked tired. The war was not going as planned. Your people are insects. We will crush them eventually, maybe, Kate said. But you'll remember the pain for a long time. Veltar left the cell angry. The human female was right about one thing. The war was causing pain throughout the alien empire. Trade routes were disrupted. Mining operations were destroyed. Fear was spreading among the population. The alien government decided to make an example of the human prisoners. They would execute Ambassador Kate Morgan and broadcast it across their empire. This would show their people that the humans could be defeated. But when they made the announcement, something unexpected happened. Human prisoners in other parts of the empire heard the news. They began to organize. They made plans to fight back. Kate learned about the execution from a guard who thought she should know. She was not surprised. She had expected this day to come. Will you beg for mercy? The guard asked. Kate looked at him with calm eyes. I will tell you what I told your commander. Go to hell. The execution was broadcast live across the alien empire. Kate Morgan was brought to a chamber filled with alien officials. She walked with her head high, showing no fear. Do you have any last words? Veltar asked. Kate looked directly into the camera. She knew humans would see this message someday. Tell them we do not kneel. Tell them we do not surrender. Tell them that humanity remembers its own. The execution was meant to break human morale. Instead, it had the opposite effect. When the recording reached Earth, it was broadcast on every channel. Humans across the solar system watched their ambassador die with dignity and courage. The effect was immediate. Recruitment centers were flooded with volunteers. Factories worked around the clock to build more weapons. The human war effort doubled. Overnight. Admiral Thompson received new orders from President Davis. The time for limited strikes was over. Earth wanted total war. Operation Hellfire is approved, the message read. Show them what happens when you kill our people. Thompson gathered his fleet commanders. The human navy had grown to over 200 ships. They were ready for the biggest offensive in human history. We're going to hit 17 alien worlds at the same time, Thompson announced. Every major base, every important target. We're going to show them that nowhere is safe. Captain Steve Miller commanded the largest human fleet ever assembled. His target was the alien home system, where the Eternal Dominion was based. His ship, the UES Inferno, carried the new quantum disruption bombs. This is for Kate Morgan, he told his crew. This is for every human who died because these aliens wanted war. Let's show them what war really looks like. The human fleets jumped into hyperspace, heading for their targets. The aliens had no idea what was coming. They were about to learn that killing a human diplomat was the worst mistake they could have made. The galaxy was about to burn with the fire of human revenge. Operation Hellfire began at exactly 0800 Earth Standard Time, across 17 star systems. Human fleets emerged from hyperspace simultaneously. The Zephyrians had never seen anything like it. Hundreds of human ships appeared without warning, carrying weapons that could destroy entire worlds. Captain Steve Miller led the attack on the Zephyrian home system. His fleet of 60 ships faced over 100 alien defenders, but the humans had advantages the aliens did not expect. The quantum disruption bombs were about to be tested in real combat. All ships begin attack pattern Alpha, Miller ordered. Target their largest vessels first. The human ships moved like a swarm of angry bees. They were faster than the alien ships and harder to hit. Their weapons were designed to exploit the weaknesses in alien technology that Dr. Helen Burke had discovered. The first quantum bomb detonated near a group of alien cruisers. The crystal structure of their ships began to collapse. The aliens watched in horror as their mighty vessels turned to glittering dust. "What is happening?" screamed the alien fleet commander. "Our ships are falling apart." The humans pressed their advantage. More quantum bombs detonated among the alien fleet. Ship after ship collapsed as their crystal technology failed. The aliens had never seen weapons like these on the surface of the Zephian homeworld. Panic spread through the crystal cities. The humans were winning the space battle above their planet. For the first time in their history, the Zephyrians faced the possibility of defeat. High Commander Veltar stood on the bridge of the Eternal Dominion. Watching his fleet die, the humans had done the impossible. They had brought war to the heart of the alien empire. "Sir," his communications officer reported, "we're receiving a message from the human fleet." "Put it on screen," Veltar ordered. Captain Miller's face appeared on the display. His eyes were cold and angry. "This is Captain Steve Miller of the human fleet. You murdered our ambassador. You declared war on our people. Now you will face the consequences." "You cannot defeat us," Veltar replied. "We are the masters of this galaxy." Miller smiled, but there was no warmth in it. "Look around you. Your fleet is dying. Your homeworld is defenseless. You are no longer the masters of anything." The battle continued for 3 days. The humans fought with a fury that amazed even themselves. They had seen the recording of Kate Morgan's execution. They knew what the aliens were capable of. There would be no mercy. By the end of the 3rd day, the Zephyrian fleet was destroyed. The Eternal Dominion was a burning wreck, drifting in space. The crystal cities on the planet below lay in ruins. The proud alien empire had been brought to its knees, but Operation Hellfire was not over. Human fleets had attacked alien worlds. Across the galaxy, everywhere the result was the same. The aliens were defeated. Their technology useless against human quantum weapons. General Marcus White led the ground forces that occupied alien worlds. His soldiers were hard men and women who had trained for years to fight in space. They showed no mercy to the aliens who had started this war. "Remember," Marcus told his troops, "these people killed our ambassador under a flag of peace. They wanted to enslave humanity. Make sure they understand the price of their actions." The occupation was swift and brutal. Alien military bases were destroyed. Alien weapons were confiscated. The survivors were moved to camps where they could be watched and controlled. Dr. Helen Burke arrived on the Zephyrian homeworld to study their technology. She was amazed by what she found. The aliens had been using crystal technology for thousands of years. Their cities were works of art, their ships were beautiful, and their weapons were powerful. "It's almost a shame to destroy such beauty," she told her team, "but they chose to make war on us." Helen's scientists learned everything they could about alien technology. They discovered new ways to travel through space, new methods of generating power, new techniques for building ships and weapons. The war had cost humanity dearly, but it had also made them stronger. Meanwhile, in the ruins of the Eternal Dominion, rescue teams searched for survivors. They found Kate Morgan's body in the wreckage of the prison section. She had died when the ship was destroyed, but her face was peaceful. She had seen her people's victory before she died. Captain Miller stood over her body. "You did it, Ambassador. You held the line long enough for us to come. Rest in peace." Kate's body was returned to Earth for burial. The entire planet mourned her loss. She had become a symbol of human courage and determination. Her sacrifice had not been in vain. President Ellen Davis addressed the world from the ruins of the alien capital. The crystal towers that had once reached toward the sky now lay broken on the ground. "The war is over," she announced. "The aliens who threatened our people have been defeated. But we will not forget what they did. We will not forget the price of their aggression. The surviving Zephyrians were relocated to a single star system under human control. Their weapons were destroyed, their fleet was eliminated, and their ability to make war was ended forever. They would live, but they would never again threaten humanity. Admiral Thompson established the new rules that would govern human space. Any alien race that threatened humanity would face the same fate as the Zephyrians. The galaxy would learn that humans were not to be trifled with. "We came to the stars in peace," Thompson said. "We offered friendship to any race that would accept. But we have learned that peace must be backed by strength. From now on, the galaxy will know that humanity is not weak." The war had changed humanity forever. They were no longer the naive species that had sent Kate Morgan on her diplomatic mission. They had become something harder, more dangerous. They had learned that in a galaxy full of predators, the greatest predator was the one that others underestimated. New human settlements were established throughout former alien space. Human technology, enhanced by captured alien knowledge, allowed them to build faster ships and more powerful weapons. The small nation that had once huddled around a single star now controlled a significant portion of the galaxy, but the humans did not become conquerors. They remembered their values, even in victory. Alien refugees were given homes and protection. Former enemies were offered the chance to join human civilization. The galaxy began to see that humanity could be both merciful and merciless, depending on how they were treated. The story of Kate Morgan's sacrifice spread throughout the galaxy. Other alien races learned about the human diplomat who had died rather than betray her people. They began to understand that humans were different from other species. They valued honor, courage, and sacrifice above mere survival. Trade routes reopened under human protection. Alien species that had been oppressed by the Zephyrians found themselves free to develop their own cultures. The galaxy became a more diverse and peaceful place under human leadership, but the humans never forgot the lesson of the war. They built monuments to Kate Morgan and the other victims of alien aggression. They maintained a powerful fleet to ensure that no one would ever again mistake their peaceful intentions for weakness. The fire that had been lit by the Zephyrians' betrayal continued to burn. It was no longer a fire of revenge, but a fire of determination. Humanity had learned its place in the galaxy, and they would never again allow anyone to threaten their people or their values. The galaxy had a new master, but it was a master that ruled through strength tempered by mercy, through power guided by wisdom. The humans had brought fire to the stars, and that fire would burn forever as a warning to any who would threaten the peace. 5 years after the war ended, the galaxy looked very different. Human ships patrolled space lanes that had once belonged to the Zephyrian Empire. Space stations bearing the Earth flag orbited worlds that had never seen a human before. The small species that had once huddled around a single star now controlled dozens of systems. Admiral Alex Rodriguez stood on the bridge of his new flagship, the UES Kate Morgan. The ship had been built to honor the fallen ambassador, and it was the most advanced vessel in the human fleet. Rodriguez had been promoted after his success in the war, but he still remembered the early days when humanity had fought for survival. "Sir," his communications officer reported, "we're receiving a signal from an unknown ship. They're requesting permission to enter human space." Rodriguez looked at the display. The ship was unlike anything he had seen before. It was long and sleek, with hull markings that suggested it came from the far side of the galaxy. "What do they want?" Rodriguez asked. "They say they're diplomats, sir." "They want to negotiate a trade agreement," Rodriguez smiled. Word had spread quickly through the galaxy after the war. Other alien races had learned that humanity was now a major power. More importantly, they had learned that it was better to approach humans with respect than with threats. "Grant them safe passage," Rodriguez ordered. "But make sure they understand our rules of engagement." The alien ship was escorted to Luna Station, where Admiral Thompson now served as the head of galactic relations. The aliens aboard were called the Centauri, and they came from a confederation of worlds near the galactic center. The Centauri ambassador was a tall, elegant being with silver skin and large eyes. She spoke perfect English, which was becoming the common language of galactic diplomacy. "We are honored to meet with the representatives of humanity," she said. "We have heard of your victory over the Zephyrians. We wish to establish peaceful relations with your people." Thompson received the ambassador in a conference room decorated with images of human achievements. But the centerpiece was a holographic display showing Kate Morgan's final speech. The message was clear. Humanity remembered both its friends and its enemies. "We welcome peaceful contact with any race," Thompson said. "But we want to be clear about our expectations. We do not tolerate aggression against our people or allies." The Centauri ambassador nodded. "We understand. We have no desire for conflict. We come seeking trade and friendship." "Then you will find both," Thompson replied. "Humanity has learned that the galaxy is a dangerous place. But it can also be a place of great opportunity for those who approach us with honest intentions." The meeting was successful. The Centauri became the first alien race to sign a formal treaty with humanity after the war. They offered advanced medical technology in exchange for human quantum weapons research. Both sides benefited from the arrangement, but not all alien races were as wise as the Centauri. The Rigel Confederation, a group of warlike species from the Outer Rim, decided to test human resolve. They attacked a human trading post and captured several human merchants. The response was swift and decisive. General Patricia Hayes, who had taken over Marcus White's position after his retirement, led a fleet of 50 ships to Rigel space. The aliens had expected a negotiation. Instead, they got a demonstration of human military power. "This is General Hayes of the Human Defense Force," she broadcast to the Rigel fleet. "You have attacked our people and taken our citizens prisoner. You have exactly 1 hour to return them unharmed and surrender those responsible for the attack." The Rigel commander was arrogant. "We do not fear your small fleet, human. We have fought and defeated many species." "You have not fought us," Hayes replied. "The battle was over in 30 minutes. The Rigel fleet was destroyed, their bases reduced to rubble. The human merchants were rescued, and the survivors of the Rigel attack were brought to trial on Earth. The galaxy took notice. The humans had not grown soft in victory. They were still the same species that had brought down the mighty Zephyrian Empire. The lesson was clear. Humanity would trade with anyone, help anyone, and protect anyone who deserved it. But they would also destroy anyone who threatened their people. Dr. Helen Burke had become the head of human technology development. Her laboratories on Mars and Earth continued to develop new weapons and technologies. But she also worked on peaceful projects, developing new methods of terraforming planets and creating sustainable energy sources. "We have the power to destroy worlds," she told her team. "But we also have the power to create them. That's what makes us different from the Zephyrians." Helen's scientists had learned much from captured alien technology. They combined it with human creativity to produce innovations that amazed the galaxy. Human ships were now the fastest in known space. Human weapons were the most powerful. Human medicine could cure diseases that had plagued alien races for centuries. The former Zephyrian worlds had been transformed under human rule. The crystal cities were rebuilt, but with human touches. Parks and gardens replaced military installations. Schools and hospitals were built where weapons factories had once stood. The surviving Zephyrians were given the chance to participate in their own reconstruction. Veltar, the former High Commander, had spent 5 years in prison. He had been given the opportunity to learn about human culture and values. When he was finally released, he had become a different person. "I understand now," he told his human guard. "We thought strength meant the ability to destroy. You have shown us that true strength means the ability to create." Veltar became an advocate for cooperation between his people and humanity. He helped establish schools where young Zephyrians could learn alongside human children. He worked to preserve the best parts of his people's culture while embracing the values that made humanity great. The Kate Morgan Doctrine had become the foundation of human foreign policy. It was simple but effective. Humanity would always prefer peace, but any act of aggression would be met with overwhelming force. The doctrine was taught in schools throughout human space and was studied by alien diplomats across the galaxy. President Ellen Davis had been re-elected twice since the war ended. She had overseen humanity's transformation from a small, peaceful species to a major galactic power. But she had also made sure that humanity did not lose its soul in the process. Power. Without compassion is tyranny, she said in her famous speech at the Kate Morgan Memorial. We have the power to rule the galaxy through fear. Instead, we choose to lead it through example. The memorial to Kate Morgan stood in the center of New Geneva, the capital of human space. It was a simple structure, just a statue of the ambassador, with her final words carved in stone. We do not kneel. We do not surrender. We remember our own. Every year, beings from across the galaxy came to visit the memorial. They came to pay their respects to the human who had died for her principles. They came to understand the values that drove humanity to greatness. Captain Nina Foster had retired from active duty but continued to serve as an instructor at the Human Space Academy. She taught young officers about the war and its lessons. Her students came from many different species, all united by their desire to serve in the human fleet. The war taught us that peace is not the absence of conflict, she told her classes. Peace is the presence of justice. We fight not because we love war, but because we love peace enough to defend it. The human fleet had grown to over 1,000 ships. They patrolled the galaxy, protecting trade routes and defending the weak. But they also carried scientists, doctors, and teachers. The same ships that could destroy worlds also brought hope and knowledge to those who needed it. Commander Sam Cooper, who had served under Rodriguez during the war, now led exploration missions to the far reaches of the galaxy. His ships carried the message of humanity to species that had never heard of Earth. Most welcomed the contact. Those who didn't learn quickly that humanity was not a species to be trifled with. We come in peace, Cooper would tell new species he encountered. We offer friendship, trade, and protection. But we also offer a warning. Treat us with respect, and we will do the same for you. Threaten us or our allies, and you will face the same fate as the Zephyrians. The galaxy had become a more peaceful place under human leadership. Wars between alien species had decreased as humanity mediated disputes and enforced peace agreements. Trade flourished under human protection. Scientific advancement accelerated as species shared knowledge freely, but humanity never forgot the lessons of the war. They maintained their military strength and continued to develop new technologies. They built monuments to their fallen heroes and taught their children about the price of freedom. The fire that had been lit by the Zephyrians' betrayal continued to burn. It was no longer a fire of revenge, but a fire of determination. It burned in the hearts of every human who served in the fleet, every diplomat who negotiated treaties, every scientist who pushed the boundaries of knowledge. The galaxy had learned that humanity was different from other species. They were not conquerors seeking to dominate others. They were protectors seeking to create a better future for all thinking beings. But they were also warriors who would never hesitate to defend what they believed in. As Admiral Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the Cape Morgan, watching the stars, he thought about how much had changed since.